If you're tired of AI voice platforms that overpromise and underdeliver, is the newest AI voice platform on the market to build out AI voice agents. And in this video, I'm going to go over the platform and give you my honest opinion on if I think this platform could actually take over the market. I'm going to be building out an inbound AI caller and integrating it into my CRM, and also building on top of that different automations to test out the functionality of the platform. So if you're an everyday person or a business owner that is looking to implement this AI technology into your business and automate your calls and your customer service inquiries with AI, this video is going to be perfect for you to see if the perfect platform for you. Before we start this video, if you want more AI content like this, where I go over different AI tools, make sure to subscribe, leave a like, and leave a comment on this video. With that being said, let's dive right into this demo now. All right, guys, so I want to show you a overview of Thoughtly AI's platform before I actually dive in and build out our Thoughtly AI agents. And, I'll go ahead and do that here in a couple minutes. But I want to show you this dashboard here. So right here is a great place to be able to see all the data from the calls that we have actually had with inside of our Thoughtly agents. So you can see these are the different responses, the amount of talk time, the amount of deployments, all this stuff. You could see the different usage here, which Thoughtlys have had certain amount of conversations and how long. You can see the different top actions. So right here, I actually created a Calendly action inside one of our Thoughtly agents, and that was to book a reservation via Calendly. So whenever this is triggered, it will go ahead and show you your top actions that have been created. So that right there is the first tab, the overview. If we come down to agents, you can see all of our different agents that we have, shows how many times they've been run, all this different stuff. There is a marketplace right here. This is coming soon, where we could actually go ahead and list our Thoughtlies for sale, make some recurring revenue from that. And then also we could buy other people's Thoughtlies. Right here is the Genius tab. So this is where we're gonna upload our documents. And I'm gonna do this a bit more in the video. But we could add a data source and then keep this compiled right here, and then add these and connect these to any of our Thoughtlies, which makes it very, very simple. You can see the different contacts here. Obviously, we don't have any since I'm just testing this out. Our different phone numbers. So we could buy phone numbers directly through Thoughtly, so we don't have to go through Twilio, which makes this very, very easy, which is really nice. So if we go to the deployment tab here, we could actually do batch jobs where we could send out like lots and lots of calls all at once with inside of our Thoughtlies. Right here, integration. So you can see I already connected my high level, my GHL, but we could also do these different integrations, as well as we have all these Zapier automations we could also do here. So let's come down to library. You can see this is the kind of summary of all of the conversations that happen with inside of our Thoughtlies. This is a really cool tab here. The thing I like about Thoughtly is they're really good at structuring the data to be able to see how these agents are actually working, which is really important. So you can see, you could click on this and it will show the summary of the call. So in the conversation, the agent Jessica assists a caller who inquires about quesadillas, which are not on the menu. Jessica suggests alternative options, including a Nashville wrap, all this sort of stuff. You can see which agent this was. You can see the conversation, as well as you can see the recording here. So all this stuff is really cool with inside of Thoughtly, but let's actually dive in and actually build out one of these Thoughtlys, and I could show you kind of all the other stuff this platform has. So let's actually now go to our agents tab and build out our first Thoughtly. So Thoughtly calls their AI agents Thoughtlys. So whenever I say we are going to create a Thoughtly, that is basically just the AI voice assistant that we are creating. So let's do this for a restaurant. Let's call this just receptionist. And so what we could do, we could choose what this is for. So we're obviously this is going to be for a virtual receptionist. We could choose political polling, sales, candidate screening, market research, product review, all this different stuff, but let's just do virtual receptionist. So we have multiple options here. So you could see we could start from scratch. We could import a script, or we could use marketplace. So first of all, I want to go ahead and show you if we import a script, and then from there, I'm going to build one from scratch. So you can see how to do that. But if we click import script here, we could come in here and write in a prompt, and then it'll build out this workflow for us. And then we could go ahead and edit accordingly from that. So this makes it really simple to get started with building your Thoughtlys if you don't necessarily have an ideal workflow you want to work through. It gives you a bunch of ideas. So here we go. You are a receptionist for Priya Grill. Your job is to give recommendations and info about the menu items and ultimately guide the user to book a reservation. So let's import this and then see what this workflow looks like, and then we can build upon that. All right, so you can see here, this whole workflow has been built out. it's a bit messy. There's a bunch of different nodes here. So a node is each part of the conversation. So you can see it goes from one node to the next node. So this is just the first part of the conversation right here, second part of the conversation, and then it can get sent down multiple different pathways based on that. So you could see there is, say the outcome right here. If we come over here, there are two outcomes. So how could I assist you today? There is an outcome for menu, reservation, and hours. You can see these different branches here. So if they say, could you help me with a menu, it will then be sent down this pathway. So the conversation will then go to here. So talking about the menu items, all that sort of stuff. Then from there, if you're interested in tacos, burritos, specials, or reservations, it'll send you down a different path with inside of the workflow. So this right here, it's a bit complex for what we need. So let's go ahead and build this from scratch. But this kind of gives you a general overview of what the conversation pathways kind of look like. All right, since we tried doing the import script here when we're creating a new Thoughtly, let's go ahead now and use blank. So let's call this receptionist, go from blank, and then we will start this from scratch and I'll show you how this works. So as I said, these are all nodes here. So this is separate parts of the conversation, and this allows us to be dynamic with how we actually go ahead and create our AI voice agent. So first of all, what I like to do is I like to start with these custom instructions here. And I always say follow additional rules to obtain objectives. So what this does, this then pushes us down here. We create rules for each one of these nodes or each part of these conversations, and then it will just follow those rules and then move on accordingly. So that way we don't need to write custom instructions for every single node. So what we'll do in this use case is let's just add some rules. Start the conversation by greeting the user, saying something like, hey, this is Jessica with Priya. How may I help you? So add that rule. I'm going to go ahead and add some other rules here. There we go. So for this node, I have these rules. So figure out if they just have general questions or if they want to book a reservation, maintain a natural back and forth conversation to understand what the person wants so you could assist them best. Always acknowledge the user's questions to show how engaged you are in listening attentively. Start the conversation by greeting user, saying something like, hey there, this is Jessica with Priya, how may I help you? So these are the rules for this specific node. So what we do now is let's go ahead and delete these. We will then add another node here, and let's add this, and we will make this go down here. What we need to do is we need to then come and add some outcomes. So let's say they have questions, and for the other outcome, they want to book a reservation. All right, so if they have more questions, we're gonna send them down this pathway. So there we go. And then we want to add an action here. And then if they want to book a reservation, they are sent down this pathway. And the reason I created this as an action, because we're going to have to create an integration, which is going to be Calendly, which is how we're actually going to book the reservation. We're going to be able to pull from our Calendly to see the different availability we have here. And then if they just don't want to book a reservation, but they just have more questions about the menu, it'll be sent down here and we'll create a pathway from that. But now I need to go ahead and connect the Calendly for our integration. In order to add our Calendly step here and our Calendly function, what we need to do is a couple things. We need to come down to tools. We will click add a tool, select an integration, add Calendly. And what we want to do is we want to go over to your Calendly, click a event type, copy and paste the link to it, and then just paste that link there. So it's going to pull from this information so then I can see the available time slots and then basically send a function call to Calendly and actually book a time slot inside of Calendly. So there we go. Then we want to come to select an integration, click Calendly, provide additional rules that should be considered for this node. Let's just say, all right, there we go. Let's add that simple rule there. What we did is we created, obviously you could see here, so we have the two different pathways. So they have questions, they are sent down here. They want to book a reservation, they're sent down here. So if they get sent down here, we need to then create this node, this part of the conversation. So like I said, I copy paste this just to make it easier, manage additional rules, and then continue answering their questions until they no longer have any. They no longer have any questions as an outcome. Let's actually delete this here. They no longer have any questions, or they want to book a reservation. There we go. So if they no longer have any questions, send it down here to end. So that will end the call. If they want to book a reservation, it will come up here, and then it will then go to this step where it books that reservation. So another thing we need to do here to make our Thoughtly as good as possible is we need to add a knowledge base. So Thoughtly AI calls their knowledge base a genius. So if you see here, we have these different geniuses that we have built, which are just basically data sources. So I already created this, but I'm going to go ahead and show you how to do this. Come over to Genius. What we want to do is we want to create a new Genius. We're going to call this, let's call it pre-menu number 2 because I already did this. So we want to add that, and this is basically a folder. So we could add multiple things inside of here. But for this use case, all we need to do is add a URL, identify that. And I basically pulled this URL from our website for this restaurant we're going to be using and then paste it into our menu URL here. Now we have this data source uploaded. So let's go back to agents. And then for Genius, we're going to come here and click Paria menu 2 because we just built that. And then now it's going to utilize that URL, and all of that information is going to scrape that and use it with inside of our conversation flow. So they make it really easy to upload a knowledge base. You could add a bunch of stuff here. You could, add documents, URLs, you could add PDFs, all these different things. It's not limited to just URLs. So we could add that. Again, we came to tools, we added the Calendly step here. But yeah, so now that we uploaded that, let's go ahead and test this out and then see if we need to make any changes. So before we make the phone call, there is something we need to do. So we need to first connect our phone numbers. So you would come down to phone numbers, then you would click buy a number. Right here, if you have some credits available on your account, you would just click buy phone number. If you need credits, basically you just message them here and they will add them to your account. But since we already did this, we don't need to do that. So just click buy your phone number, come down to manage, and then this is where you connect it to your different thought leads. So that way your phone number is connected to it. So I already did this, but let me try it again for you. So I want to connect this to my Paria receptionist, and you could connect it for outbound or inbound or SMS. So for this use case, we're going to do inbound since we're calling this phone number. Let's go back to agents, come to our Paria receptionist. And then what we want to do now is we want to go ahead, just click call me, and it will then go ahead and call my contact. And I should be getting a phone call on my phone here, and we'll take a listen to this. As you can see, we're prompted with this dashboard here. It'll show the recording and the conversation of the call once it all happens.
Hey there, this is Jessica with Parilla. How may I help you?
Yeah, I wanted to see your options for burritos.
We actually have some awesome options. We don't have traditional burritos, but we have wraps and bowls that are super popular. For example, the classic wrap has your choice of black or refried beans, rice, and guacamole. Then there's the Nashville, which has spicy fried seitan and tots. Does anything catch your eye, or do you want to hear more about a specific option?
Honestly, those wraps sound great. Would I be able just to book a reservation with you guys?
Absolutely, I can help you with that. What date and time are you looking to reserve? I can offer sometimes today or in the coming days if that works for you.
What's your availability for Friday evening after about 5 p.m.?
Friday evening, we have some great slots available after 5 p.m. You can choose from 5 p.m., 5:30 p.m., 6 p.m., and 6:30 p.m. Do any of those work for you?
Honestly, 5:30 is perfect.
Great, I've got you down for 5:30 p.m. on Friday. Is there anything else you need or any other questions about our menu or your reservation?
Nope, that is all. Thank you.
Thanks for calling. Have a great day.
There we go. And then it auto hangs up because we reached the end of that conversation there. So let's refresh this and see kind of what this looks like. So you could see we have the recording here if we want to listen to the full phone call. There's that. We have the full conversation. You can see how the conversation went. So now that that has been booked, let's go ahead and confirm this on my Calendly. You can see this reservation for 3 o'clock here, or wait, for 2:30 has been booked because this, I'm in Pacific time zone, but the Calendly reservation within Thoughtly, that was Eastern time zone. So technically this is the correct time here because I booked for 5:30, which is 3 hours ahead. So there we go. That has been booked. We could come down here now. We could look at the outcome of this call. Shows the summary. A couple other things I want to show you that we could do inside of here now that we kind of ended that call. So what we want to do post call, what we could do is we could have this auto generate tags. What we could do, let's say booked reservation. And this basically uses AI to be able to understand and say, hey, did we book an appointment? If so, let's add the selected tag to this contact. So we could see that this contact booked a reservation, and this all does it with AI. Or we could say add a tag, not interested. So that way we know they're not interested when we go through our conversations. Another thing, we could actually go ahead and enable email notifications. So if you go ahead and take a look at my email on my phone, you can't really see this, but it shows that a new Thoughtly phone call has been created, and it will actually add the summary there. So whenever a call comes through, you can see live up-to-date information when these calls come through. So yeah, that is some kind of the cool things there. Let's move on and show different use cases for this. I actually want to touch on a couple more features in here that are really awesome that we could then kind of fine tune. So we could first of all add a background audio. So what this does is that way it sounds like the AI, the person we're talking with on the phone, is like there's some form of background. So on the call that we just tested out, you could hear it's a call center, or you could have city street, coffee shop, car interior, or we could just leave this blank and not add anything. Same for interim audio. So you could add typing on a keyboard when there's that space between when the AI is thinking and when the AI is talking, and it will be typing on the keyboard. So it sounds like, it makes the response latency a bit more natural. Another thing we could do is we could up the assertiveness level, or we could up the humor level. So if we want this thing to be funny, we could turn this up, we could turn it to high. You could add this for balanced humor and professionalism, or we could have serious minimal humor. For this, we're just going to turn this off. But these are all different options that we could do to fine tune and make our AI as natural as normal. So what we want to focus on now is I'm going to go ahead and show you a trigger. So how we could have this thing triggered with inside of our CRM. So when a new contact is created, it then automatically calls these leads. First of all, what we want to do is we want to go into our deploy here, and we want to make sure that we have our integration set up. So for this use case, we are going to be integrating this with our GHL, Go High Level CRM. So I already went ahead, I connected this, but all you need to do is add this and then go and connect your high level API key there. And then so now that that is situated, we want to make sure that is on and connected. We want to come up here and you can see where it says no triggers. We could manage our triggers here and add a new trigger. So let's add a trigger. Our trigger is going to be high level. And then this right here is the account on high level. So AI agency accelerator on contact creation is when this trigger will happen. So there we go. And then now what we need to do is go to our GHL and then add a new contact and see if this actually works. What I'm doing now is I'm actually connecting this or adding this lead here. So I add this lead. Now we have this new lead here with my contact information. I should be receiving a phone call any second since this lead was added to our CRM. Here it is. Hello.
Hey there, this is Jessica with Gorilla. I saw you signed up to book a reservation on our website. Would you like to do that now?
Actually, no, thank you. Okay, there we go. So now that trigger works. So whenever a new contact is added inside of our CRM, which we actually set up an automation in here. So when a form is filled out, it then adds a contact and then it calls them. So we could have this behind a Facebook ad or something. So whenever somebody fills out their contact information, it gets sent to a CRM and then it automatically triggers this AI to call them immediately. So guys, there we have it. I went over the Thoughtly AI platform. This is an amazing AI voice platform that is new on the market. One thing I want to touch on is who is it for and who is it not for? Thoughtly is not for the extremely technical developer who needs to build advanced AI systems and AI calling agents on top of an existing infrastructure. That is not what Thoughtly is. Thoughtly is more tailored for small business owners or agency owners that are looking to build out simpler AI voice solutions in a really easy no-code way. So if you are a developer and you need to build out your own SaaS on top of a different infrastructure for this AI calling, I would recommend go with Bland AI or go with Vappy. The owner and the founder of Thoughtly AI is actually friends with Vappy, and he always suggests, he's like, hey, we will be transparent with our customers and say, go use Vappy for your use case if somebody comes in and it's too complex and technical and they're looking for a big and complicated solution. So Thoughtly is perfect for the small and medium businesses and the agencies that could build out these AI voice agents with ease and implement them into their different systems, such as their CRMs, create Zapier integrations and automations, that sort of stuff. So that is who this platform is for. One thing I want to touch on that same note is the user interface. I absolutely love the user interface of Thoughtly AI. It's very seamless. The agent and the Thoughtly workflow builder is very seamless and easy to use. I love being able to create the conversational pathways within inside of Thoughtly and then have these agents be sent down different paths based on how this conversation needs to be handled. So we could have different actions go down different paths based on different responses, all these different things. So that gives us the ability to put training wheels on our AI, but also give it the flexibility to be dynamic as an AI voice agent needs to be. So Thoughtly is amazing at that. I love having that functionality there. And honestly, the dashboard and the kind of insights on side of their platform, being able to review the calls and the summaries and stuff, all that stuff is amazing inside of Thoughtly. I think it is the best I've seen on these different platforms, being able to summarize all that data have it kind of in one structured place and be able to make different changes to our agents based on the data, because we could see how our agents are actually performing, which is really crucial. Lastly, another thing I want to talk about is the white label aspect. So I haven't talked about it much in this video, but Thoughtly AI is planning on launching a white label aspect of their software. So we're going to be able to resell this as an agency and sign clients onto our own software. And having those dashboards and the kind of insights that we have, as I just spoke about, on that is going to be a game changer, because all these other platforms that offer these white label abilities and capabilities, they don't have that analytics features built in. So I'm really excited about that. And that gives me a lot of hope for, Thoughtly being a market leader in the future. With that being said, guys, if you guys want to sign up with Thoughtly, there is a link below in the description. You could sign up. Thoughtly is an amazing platform, as I've said. I really do think Thoughtly is here to stay. It's really cool seeing different platforms come out and testing them. So if you guys want to see me test out different platforms and different AI tools, honestly, to help you and your business, or as an everyday person, optimize your life and save time with AI, this channel is for you. So make sure to leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe to the YouTube channel. I appreciate it so much making it this far into this video, and I'll make sure to see you guys in the next one.